I'm Holly Kovo from Fitting Fitness In, and welcome to Get Healthy with Holly. This episode is about healthy eating can be easy. March is National Nutrition Month, and what that means is that the government wants to inform the public on how to make informed decisions about their food, develop sound eating habits, as well as exercise habits. This month, or this year's slogan for National Nutrition Month is Eat Right, Bite by Bite. And it promotes eating a variety of foods every day. It promotes planning and creating healthful meals each week. Planning is key. And it also teaches you the value of consulting with a nutrition or dietitian if you need help. Don't be afraid to ask for help because they're there to help you. And it encourages you to try new foods. It encourages you to learn the health benefits of the foods that you are eating. And it encourages you to try different foods. Try different flavors and enhance the flavors of your food. So we're going to start with breakfast. And I'm going to show you breakfast that I eat, some of the breakfast foods that I eat. And I usually start with oatmeal. So I use Quaker Oats oatmeal, but you could also use these quick cooking steel cut oats. The only difference is that they're about the same protein wise, but this is a lot easier. And let's be real, it's the first thing in the morning. You don't want to spend a lot of time. For the oats, for the real oats, you have to cook them at night and it takes them 30 minutes and then you can leave them overnight. But I do something quick and easy, and what I usually put in my oatmeal is I use almond milk instead of milk, and I use fruit. Either all three fruits, strawberries, raspberries, blueberries, or one or the other, but I try to get as many berries in as possible. Strawberries are very good, they have vitamin C. Blueberries are great for your eyes. Raspberries have fiber, which is good for your diet. And then you'll see that I also add a little bit of peanut butter in there because by the time I eat breakfast at 5:30 in the morning and by the time I get to eat again, it's 10:30 or 11 and I'm starving. And this doesn't really cover me, just the oatmeal. So I add a teaspoon of all natural peanut butter and that gives it a little bit more protein. I want to show you this peanut butter. This is my favorite peanut butter. It is Smuckers peanut butter, and it's all natural, and all it is peanuts. Just peanuts. And that's awesome. And it tastes just like peanuts. However, there is the issue of the oil separating. So when we first open it, we mix it really good, and then you stick it in the refrigerator, and then the oil won't separate again. So when it's all natural, you do need to mix it good and store it in the fridge so it doesn't separate again. Okay, another thing I have for breakfast is I have peanut butter toast. And I use this bread. It's a 7-grain bread. It's from Pepperidge Farms, and it's light. It's 45 calories a slice. So I use that, and I will make peanut butter toast with peanut butter, and I'll load it up with some berries. Or I'll make toast with avocado on there. Or for some people, they like a more savory breakfast, you can use guacamole. Okay, so these are my different breakfast items. So let's start with toast. So we're gonna make peanut butter toast and guacamole toast. And we're gonna use this yummy bread. I do store this bread in the freezer so that it stays fresher longer because I don't always have toast in the morning. Most of the time I have the oatmeal, but every once in a while I want something. I don't do a lot of bread. Every once in a while I'd like something, and I use this bread. Okay, so while that's going, we're going to go to the oatmeal. So I just opened up one of these instant packets and put that in here. So this is the original Quaker's oatmeal. It's not any of the cinnamon sugar or brown sugar or apple cinnamon. This doesn't have the sugar that those do. What this has is 2 grams of fat, 18 grams of carbohydrate, 3 grams of fiber, and 4 grams of protein. So this is really good. There's 100 calories with the packet if you're making it with water. And then these oats, the steel cut oats, these, for that nutritional value, first of all, it's 150 calories. Fat is 3 grams, carbohydrates are 27, fiber is 4, and protein is 5. So it does have a little bit more, but it has a lot more fat, and it's a little more time consuming. So it depends on how much time you have. You know, if you have guests over, I would go with this, but if it's just you and you want a quick breakfast, I would go with this. Okay, let me just make sure these are not burning. Woo! All right, there's toast. I like my toast light anyway, so let's start with the peanut butter. Now, when I was doing some research, I went up on the website for eatright.org, and I saw an article that I thought was very interesting. I'm just going to butter this for you. And it was 7 ways to enhance the flavor of your meal. So I'm just going to go over a few of them. Oh, look at this. Now, again, I do very thin layer of peanut butter because, you know, I'm trying not to do too much. And then I take that and I might put some blueberries on there. I decorate it a little bit, and a raspberry or 2, and maybe a little bit of strawberries. I mean, they might fall off a little bit, but you get to have a little bit of fruit along with your protein. 3 different food groups on here, 3 different food groups. Okay, so I'll put that one there. So one of the things, I'll go down a list of things that that article talked about. It talked about starting with high quality food, and I have to agree with them, especially when you're dealing with fruits and vegetables. You want to get the best ones that you can, because it makes a difference. Handling and storing your food properly makes a difference too, and I'll go into that in a little bit, a little more. You want to cook to retain the flavor of your foods. Retain the nutrients, the color, and the texture. Basically, don't overcook. Use more veggies. You can grill them, you can put them in the oven. If you put them in the oven, you want to heat them at either 400 or 450 degrees. Maybe spray them with a little olive oil or avocado oil, and then some herbs on top, and that's really yummy. Or you put them on the grill and they get a little sweeter taste, or maybe a smoky taste. Caramelized sliced onions, oh, those are awesome, because when you cook them over low heat with a little oil, it brings out the natural sugar flavor. And you can pep it up with peppers, red peppers, yellow peppers, green peppers, hot, sweet, fried peppers, maybe even a hot pepper sauce, something to add to it. Also, you can add a tangy taste by adding a little citrus juice or a citrus peel from lemon, lime, oranges. That acid ingredient helps to lift up the flavor and balance the flavor of the food. And then you can use small ingredients that have bold flavors, like pomegranate seeds or chipotle peppers or cilantro. And then don't forget the condiments. A good quality condiment can really add to a meal, like horseradish or flavored mustards, chutneys, all different varieties of salsas. That will help as well. So let's get back to this. So now we have our peanut butter toast, and then I'm going to use a little guacamole. So for me, personally, I will have just mashed avocado, but a lot of people, again, like to have something a little more savory, and so this is what I would put on there, a nice avocado toast. Now, oatmeal. So I use almond milk instead of regular milk. It's about the same amount of protein, but I am kind of reducing my dairy for a while because I have arthritis in my hands, and it really does help for me. It helps. So that's a half a cup of almond milk. And I am going to put that in the microwave. And then once that comes out, I'm just gonna put some peanut butter in there to add a little protein. It also makes it a little thicker. I quite enjoy it, actually. I mean, it changes the color and the texture a little bit, but I think it's very tasty. And then, of course, I throw in whatever fruit or fruits that I have, and I really like the fruit adding to it. So another thing, that if you don't have the fresh fruit, you can always use frozen fruit. And frozen fruit is probably even fresher than the fruit that you get in the grocery store, because frozen fruit is frozen right after it's picked, and so that's the freshest that it can be, and it stays preserved as it's frozen. So if you're going to use frozen fruit, then I throw in a little bit of frozen fruit before I microwave it, because then it defrosts while it's in there. The other thing that you can have for breakfast that I don't have here but we're on other episodes, smoothies. We did that on the season 2, episode 6, so you can always find these recipes on my website, fittingfitnessin.com, and look up Get Healthy with Holly. So this is what it looks like. I maybe could have put a little more. So I'm just going to put this much peanut butter in there and mix it around. This one's going to be a little thicker peanut butter. One of the other things that you could have for breakfast is that monkey salad, and that's from the Whole30 recipe diet, and I did the monkey salad on season 1, episode 6. And then the egg white muffins, oh, those were awesome. And that is great because you can plan those, you can cook them on the weekends and then freeze them and then eat them during the week. Okay, so this is a little thicker than I normally would make it. Actually, I could probably add a little bit more and thin it out. So eating a healthy breakfast is key, because that really helps you get a good start for the morning, and it gives your brains the energy that it needs. All right, so we have this, and I'm just going to throw a little strawberries, a couple raspberries, and some blueberries into my breakfast. And these are the 3 different healthy breakfasts that I eat, and then there's the other breakfast foods that I talked about that you can find on my website. These recipes, well, this is pretty easy, will be up on my website as well. Let's talk about storing food, and specifically foods that should be in the refrigerator. Obviously milk, meat, eggs, tortillas. Did you know that tortillas should be in the refrigerator? I didn't know that. It's probably why ours get all hard when we have them in the cabinet, but they're supposed to be stored in the refrigerator. Any cured meats like salami and lunch meats, and especially once you open them, you have about 3 to 5 days to eat them before they go bad. Ripe bananas. If the bananas are ripe, you can stick them in the refrigerator, and even though the skin is going to go black, they're still good on the inside for at least 2 or 3 days. So that's a good thing. Nuts. Nuts should be stored in the refrigerator in a sealed plastic or a glass container, and they last up to 4 to 6 months. Now, I actually store my nuts in the freezer. I like to have pistachio nuts. So maple syrup you can store up to a year in the refrigerator. Dried fruits can be stored up to 6 months. Ketchup should be stored in the refrigerator if you want to keep the flavor, and that can be stored up to 6 months. Corn on the cob, you should store that in the refrigerator in the husks, and then it lasts for about 2 or 3 days. Eat Right Challenge for National Nutrition Month. And so on this challenge, you could pick one, or you can pick several of them. Maybe you go without sugar or desserts for a day, or you drink at least 8 cups of water in a day, or you try a whole grain product, or eat fruit with every meal, or eat vegan for a day, or eat vegetarian for a few days. Throw out the junk food. Include the 4 food groups in every meal. Maybe omit all the caloric drinks that you're drinking. Try a new food. That's really key. Try eating vegetarian meat or a vegetarian meal. Maybe try some tofu, cooking tofu. My daughter had a friend who came and stayed with us for a week, and he was vegetarian. So I loved it because it gave me a nice challenge to cook vegetarian all week, and my husband had to eat it because he doesn't go for when I cook, like when I say, let's be vegetarian for a week. That doesn't always go over well, but since we had a guest, he had to. The other thing is, make a meal plan for the week. Planning is always key, and then you can prep for that week as well. So if you make your plan on Sunday or Saturday and Sunday, you do your grocery shopping, you prep what you can for the week. Then when you come home on a Tuesday night and you're exhausted, you already know what's ready, and some of it's already prepped for you. The worst time that people really go bad with their nutrition is dinner, especially if they haven't prepared or they're not, don't have anything planned. They're gonna come home, you're tired, you're hungry, you're gonna reach for the first thing, and maybe it's processed foods. And processed foods tend to have a lot of sodium. So you wanna keep your sodium levels below 2,300 milligrams a day. So that's something to look out for too. So maybe when you make a recipe, make double so that you can store some in the freezer for another day, or I always plan to have leftovers, a night where we have leftovers, or you can bring it to work for lunch. Bring your work, pack your lunch and your snacks. Not only can you have more healthier snacks and lunches, but it's going to save you some money as well. Okay, so let's talk about healthy snacks. What do I have here? I have a lot of different healthy snacks. I have a hard-boiled egg. A hard-boiled egg has protein, vitamin K, and B12. B12 is an energy vitamin. So you can, and they're very portable because they come in their shell. You just have to crack it and eat it. So you can eat that, maybe a little salt on it. So that's a great snack in itself. Maybe some red peppers with guacamole. So the red pepper is full of vitamin C, which is great, antioxidants, and the guacamole is made with avocado, which is a healthy fat. And just dip it in and eat it. It's great. Maybe you want something a little sweeter, like a Greek yogurt and some fruit. So we throw a little bit of fruit in there. And some raspberries. Gotta love it. Now, quite frankly, for me, this is not just a snack, but that's a dessert. So you can use plain Greek yogurt, which is very high in protein. It also has calcium, potassium, and then the berries are high in antioxidants. I like a little bit of sweetness, so I use vanilla yogurt as opposed to the plain yogurt. Or you could do plain yogurt and put a little honey in it. That's up to you. Okay, the other thing is apple slices with peanut butter. So I have my handy dandy apple corer and slicer here. I'm going to bring it a little closer so I can put some oomph into it. Push it straight down, and then they pull out. I might have to clean some of these seeds out. Pushing it through. These are very handy to have. I'll do these, just these for now. And then again, our all natural peanut butter. My favorite brand is Smuckers because all it is peanuts. And I do a little bit of peanut butter on there. This is great for the kids when they get home from school, because the protein will give them a little bit to digest until dinner. The apple has a little bit of sweetness to it. Of course, the apple has fiber and antioxidants, and the peanut butter has the protein. This smells good. I'm getting a little hungry for a snack. Awesome. And one last one. There we go. I hope you try some of these healthy breakfast and snack foods. You can find the recipes on my website, fittingfitnessin.com. And I'll see you next time on Get Healthy with Holly.